Why it sucks to be born as a hyena. Somewhere on the African savanna, a baby is being born, and it's about to fight a war before it takes its first breath. Not against a lion, not against a leopard, against its own twin. By the way, that baby is you. Welcome to the body of a spotted hyena, the animal everyone calls a cowardly scavenger, right up until they learn you actually hunt about 70% of your own food and have a bite force of around 1100 psi, strong enough to crush bone like a breadstick and nearly double the bite of a lion. You're not the punchline of the savannah. You're the bone-cracking, bone-digesting end boss of it. And you're going to spend your whole life being underestimated, starting in about 30 seconds when you nearly die being born. Here's the first cool joke evolution played on you. Your mom is female, which on this channel usually means abandoned at birth. Not here. Female spotted hyenas run the show. They're bigger, more muscular, and carry up to 3 times more testosterone than the males.
The downside? She gives birth through an organ called the pseudopenis, biologically a heavily reworked version of female anatomy. We'll keep this PG, but imagine being born through a tube the diameter of a garden hose with one very narrow bend in it. The result is exactly as bad as it sounds. Around 60% of firstborn cubs suffocate on the way out, and roughly 10% of first-time mothers die in the process. Congratulations! You've technically survived the single most dangerous birth canal of any mammal on Earth. No cake. Just trauma in a clan that already doesn't care. Most baby animals show up blind, toothless, and useless. You show up loaded. Spotted hyena cubs are born with their eyes wide open and a full set of teeth already erupted, canines around 6 to 7 millimeters long.
You're basically born holding a knife, and you know exactly who to point it at. Your sibling. If your twin is the same sex as you, instinct flips a switch, and you start trying to murder them within minutes of birth. It's called neonatal siblicide, and it kills an estimated quarter of all cubs in the first month. Your very first relationship is a cage match. The prize? More milk. Mom's nipples are limited, the savannah is hungry, and there's no participation trophy for second place. Smart move, honestly. Brutal, but smart. Let's say you win the sibling war, or you got lucky and your twin was the opposite sex, so you only had to share. Now you live in a communal den, a network of tunnels too narrow for adult lions and hyenas to enter. So it's the one place on the savannah nobody can follow you. It's daycare run by toddlers with weapons. You'll nurse for a shockingly long time, sometimes over a year, one of the longest nursing periods of any carnivore, because mom often can't bring meat all the way back to the den.
Your early attempts at anything useful are pathetic. You pounce on a beetle and miss. You try to look intimidating and produce a noise like a squeaky toy being stepped on. Don't worry, that noise becomes terrifying later. But let's rewind a few million years and figure out why you're built like a furry industrial trash compactor. Your ancestors made a bet that the rest of the savannah refused to make. Eat the part nobody else can. Lions, leopards, cheetahs, they strip the meat and walk away from the skeleton. Your lineage looked at that abandoned pile of bones and saw a fully stocked vending machine. So evolution gave you a skull built around your jaw muscles, a reinforced palate, and teeth designed to shatter femurs. You don't just gnaw bone, you crush it, swallow it, and your stomach acid dissolves it, pulling out marrow and nutrients locked away from every other predator. Your droppings come out chalky white from all the calcium. You are a walking, cackling recycling plant, and that bone-crushing jaw doubles as one of the most powerful weapons in Africa. Now, back to the timeline. Here's where it gets political. Because hyena society makes high school look relaxed. You don't claim a lonely territory like some brooding leopard. You're born into a clan. And clans can swell to 80 members, the largest social groups of any carnivore on land. It's a matriarchy with a strict ranking system. And here's the kicker. Your rank isn't earned. It's inherited. You are born into the exact social position your mother holds, like a tiny aristocrat or a tiny peasant, decided entirely by whose womb you crawled out of. If mom is the queen, the matriarch, you eat first at every kill for the rest of your life. Then the whole clan grovels to you. If mom is low-ranking, you'll spend your life at the back of the buffet line, snapping at scraps while higher-born cubs your own age boss you around. Nepotism, but with teeth.
Your clan defends its turf the way every animal does, by marking it. Except your version is gloriously gross. You produce a paste from a gland under your tail that gamekeepers literally call hyena butter. And you smear it on grass stalks along the border like the world's worst real estate signage. To you, it's a detailed message board. Who passed by, their sex, their clan, their mood. To everyone else, it smells like a crime. And that famous laugh? It's not joy. The giggle is a sign of stress or excitement, usually the sound of a low-ranking hyena getting bullied away from food. So when a hyena laughs, it's basically crying in a group chat. Now, romance. If you're a male, brace yourself, because this is the most humbling dating market in the animal kingdom. When you hit adulthood, you don't inherit your mom's rank.
You have to leave home and join a brand new clan, where you start at the absolute rock bottom of the social ladder, below every female, below cubs. You spend months, sometimes years, politely loitering and being patient, hoping a female eventually decides you're tolerable. Females choose everything, and they tend to prefer the males who've stuck around longest and behaved best. It's the only Tinder where the winning strategy is be relentlessly nice and wait literally years. Now, let's assume you're a female instead. Congratulations. You skip the exile entirely. You stay home, you outrank the males forever, and one day it's your turn to give birth through that same nightmare anatomy that nearly killed you on day one. Full circle. You'll raise your cubs, pass your rank straight down to them, and the whole vicious, beautiful, bone-crushing machine starts over. In the wild, you've got maybe 12 years if everything goes right.
Captive hyenas can push past 25, but the savannah is not a retirement community. Time comes for the bite first. The jaw that once turned a buffalo femur into gravel starts to slow. Your teeth, after a decade of cracking the hardest food any predator eats, wear down to nubs. And the clan you were born into, the one that ranked you the moment you existed, doesn't do sentiment. There's no pension. There's just the back of the line getting further away. So it ends the way it tends to end out here. Maybe a coalition of lions, your oldest enemy, catches you alone. And lions kill hyenas not for food, but out of pure rivalry. Maybe it's a younger, stronger clanmate shoving you off the last carcass you'll ever fight for. Or maybe it's just a bad season, worn down teeth, and an empty stomach that doesn't refill. You go out the way you came in, outnumbered, underestimated, and refusing to stop snapping. The most maligned predator in Africa. Finally quiet.
Now say your goodbyes and leave this world. And one last thing, with a straight face this time. Spotted hyenas are listed as least concern by the IUCN. They're adaptable, intelligent, and still spread across much of sub-Saharan Africa. But least concern hides a slow bleed. As farms and towns expand, hyenas get poisoned, shot, and snared for raiding livestock, and the range keeps shrinking at the edges. It would be a strange tragedy
If the animal we spent centuries mocking as a cowardly garbage eater, when it's really one of the smartest, most social, most ecologically useful predators on the continent, got quietly erased by the